This program is brought to you through the kind support of the Friends of That's What She Said. Support BCTV by visiting bctv.org/support.
It used to be great, now it's not so great, but it's still pretty great. Reading. Ate pretzels nonstop and pot pie no top. No dessert till we drop. Perks. Did they really say that? They did not say that. Yeah, they did say that. That's what she said.
Oh, hi everybody. We are That's What She Said. Thank you for joining us. We have Jane here in the studio with us. Say hi, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
We want to let you know that you can give us a call live at 610-378-0426. You can also go on our Twitter at She Tweets to Me. We have our website also, twss.tv. And gosh, there's so many. No, Facebook.com, She Posts to Me on Facebook. And then on YouTube, Vids, That's What She Said. Yeah, that's it.
You know, Sheila,
Yeah.
if they go to the website, twss.tv, all the links to the social media are right there at the top.
Oh, good. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't know that.
Sure.
It's been a while since I've been on the website. I guess I have to visit more often. Sorry. So we're here. We've been away for a while, right? We actually filmed last month at my house.
Yes, that was so
Which
much
was
fun.
awesome.
That was so cool.
It was
fun.
And we have in our new studio here, which is newly decorated. There's new equipment in the room over there. We have our new guest in our new studio, Elaine McDevitt. She's actually not new. She's been with us before, right?
Yes,
twice before.
That's awesome. We're glad to have you again. Okay, so what's going on, everybody? What do we have?
Well, as the guest, I'll kick it off.
All right.
Because I just wanted to, you were talking about the new studio. Thanks to the Department of Education, the County of Berks, and supporters like you, we have two really big pieces of equipment here at BCTV that are brand new. You can't really see them here, but one is called a TriCaster. That's in the back studio. It's lit up into a zillion different lights, and also a character generator. And that is when you see the key, like the written information at the bottom of your screen. That's where it comes from. So we're also having this new green screen technology, and that's why viewers can't see it, but there's a green curtain in here that will wrap around the whole studio, and we can virtually change the scenery behind us at any time.
We have to try that.
Yeah.
Yes. So we do that tomorrow.
Over the next couple of months, you're really going to see a lot of improvements to our technology.
Can we improve the streaming, do you think, with the sound is really not good?
With all the different pieces of equipment that we're bringing in here, yes, we're doing
That's been
that.
a complaint of
It's
people.
possible for us to do a lot more on location.
Okay. But I'm talking about people
recording
that
and
watch
whatnot.
it on their computers. Apparently the sound is,
Can everyone hear Jane?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Jane said
well,
something.
I was desperately hoping the green screen capability would be available now, so I could just be a big floating head.
Oh, that would be
phenomenal.
So cool.
I am the
This
greatest and powerful
equipment is
Jane.
helping. We've had the
would love
same
that.
equipment since the 70s.
Yeah.
So this has really brought
That's
us
great.
up
That's
to
awesome.
the future.
That's
so
wonderful.
thanks
Cheers
to
to
everyone who
BCTV.
helped support
Cheers.
Yeah, here's the
BCTV,
BCTV.
and that
Chin, chin.
and helped put in that technology. So
Right.
it's great. Yeah.
That's awesome. Big things
That's
happening.
absolutely wonderful.
And,
Woo!
and speaking of big things happening, in Reading, there's this new thing called This Is Reading. Have we heard of this?
Yes.
Have you heard of it, Jane?
I have. Unfortunately, I've been in Florida all summer, so I haven't been able to go to it, but
I think you're gonna
hear
miss
it's
it.
wonderful. I think
Yeah.
Jamie went. When's it? How long's it going through?
This is the last weekend, and we just got tickets for the last show.
I did too.
Those tickets were given out
They were gone
2 weeks
instantly.
before the show started. Absolutely
Oh, dear.
amazing.
Well, the executive director of BCTV, Heather Adams, went. She posted on Facebook that it was absolutely
and
fantastic.
it's got
I've
wonderful
heard that.
reviews.
Multi-dimensional. She said it was
Yeah.
so inspiring.
I'm
So-
going on Friday. I'm excited.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm going for my birthday on Saturday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Getting old, right?
Happy
That's
birthday.
great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah, it's gotten
Oh,
Wonderful
we
reviews.
did. We should have made Sheila wear a hat tonight.
A hat. I have a hat in the car. It's
Happy
actually a
birthday
helmet. It's
hat.
my skating helmet. But I'll wear it. It's still fun. We can put a candle in it.
Wait, are you skating now?
No, I haven't in a while. I use it for color guard.
Okay.
Yeah, it works for both, so. It does, it works.
Oh my gracious.
Yeah, you know. So let me ask everybody, like, where do we go when, life is crazy, right? Life is, especially, most of us have kids, husbands, whatever. Where do we go for some space, some alone time?
The bathroom.
Yeah.
Yes, that's my favorite
Yeah.
spot. The bathroom, Jason.
Except I'm not safe there anymore either.
You have a toddler.
Because,
Not safe anywhere.
my husband will go into the bathroom and my son will go, "Where's Daddy going?" And I'll say, "Well, he has to go potty, so he needs privacy." And my son will be like, "Yeah, Daddy needs privacy." And if my son has to go, he'll go, "Mommy, go away, I need privacy." But when Mommy's in the bathroom, he's like, "Hey, what's going on, Mom? Let me come in. Can I sit in your lap? Can you read me a story while you're doing this?" Yeah, he has asked me that. And I'm like,
Are you
"Please, I
kidding
just want
me?
5 minutes."
I can tell you that when my kids were little, the bathroom was my sanctuary. It's no longer that because I have a black lab who just bursts in.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she wants to see me. But the luxury I have is that I don't have anything to keep me at home. Where I really go to get alone is over to the museum. Sitting along the Wyomissing Creek is wonderful, especially in fall when the leaves are different colors. And in the museum, there's an Asian art display.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
a little pavilion and there's a little seat, and that is the most wonderful, quiet place. If you
sounds
keep
fun.
a journal, it's a wonderful place to go to journal, and it's really lovely. Just sitting there is a great place for quiet. And I think that I appreciated most of all right after I retired from teaching, and I could go over there at 9:30 in the morning. 10:30 in the morning.
Everything you go during
Wonderful.
class.
Yeah, it was great.
Journal and laugh at all the suckers going to work.
Exactly. Yeah.
My alone space is probably the car. Like, I often, when I drive home from work, I may sit in the car before I go inside for about 15, 20 minutes, just listening to music, or not,
Yeah.
or just sitting there, I just
Yeah.
like to sit in the car.
Yeah.
The bathroom is no
Yeah.
longer personal space since I have an animal. You're right.
Elaine, where do you
They
go?
bust right in.
I have an office/craft room at home, and I spend a lot of time in there.
That's good.
But I'm very gregarious person, so everybody thinks when you're a very gregarious person that you're always out there. And I think
Right.
I need a lot of time
Yeah, I
myself.
think-
I need
yeah.
a lot of space myself.
Yeah.
I read something about that. You're called like the extroverted introvert.
Oh, really?
Where you
Right.
have this ability to draw people to you and be in a crowd, but then it takes like a psychological, emotional toll, and so you desperately need alone time to,
Oh,
to
that's
just
me.
Right.
refresh and
I have
rejuvenate.
socialized with
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
that's
I
all
feel
I
the
have
same
for a few
way.
days.
Yeah.
But I think it's
Yeah.
good
Yes.
to be able to be by yourself and enjoy it.
Oh,
a lot
yeah,
of people
yeah.
can't do that.
I love to be by myself.
I think you have to be
Oh.
comfortable with yourself.
It's delightful to be by yourself.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I
Indeed.
love when
And I-
people
and I-
invite me places, but I
Yeah.
often decline because I'd rather just be by myself, to be honest with you.
And isn't
I
that a
love
great-
you all, but I love
isn't
me
that a
too.
great
But you
feeling when
still
you
want to
say-
be invited.
Yeah,
Yes.
but to be able to say, no, I don't think so this weekend. It's just such a good feeling to be able to say, no, I don't think so.
I do truly understand, though, that that feeling of you want to be with people, but then you need that break to recharge your batteries from
Right.
Right.
the exhaustion of being with people.
That actually happens to me at the holidays a lot when we're with like my extended family and they're all around, and I love every single one of them with all my heart, but there's always a time where I have to just disappear for about 10 minutes and go away. It's
Right.
every time we have a big
Right.
family gathering. I just need to go do my own thing for a little bit and get away because I get overwhelmed.
I think
And
that's normal though.
Yeah,
When
I
there's
do
a lot
too.
of people around, it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
wait a minute. I gotta get
I think especially
let me take a
yeah.
step back, and then okay, I'll come back out.
Especially
and
if you're
entertain.
entertaining and you
Yeah.
feel like you're responsible.
It's a
The
lot.
good part about saying I don't want anyone in the kitchen with me. That's kind of an alone place too. Like I could just be out there.
Well, it's like it's a lot. It's mental juggling,
Yeah, it is.
and after a while, that just becomes exhausting.
Exactly.
yeah.
It
It
is.
does.
I get torn about the kitchen because some nights I throw on my iPad and throw a show on
Right.
while I'm cooking, and I
Right.
want my child and husband in another room watching, doing something else so that I can have me time. But sometimes I stand there and I'm like chopping things. I'm like, I feel like the little red hen. I'm like, I'm making this whole dinner. You're not getting any of it unless you get out here and help me.
You're so cute. That's so funny.
I little red hen a lot. I'm like, I cleaned this bathroom. Get out of here.
I'm the same way. I get it. Well, we had some sad news in the recently with John McCain. Everybody's heard about him.
Oh, yes.
Very
Oh,
sad.
Jane, are you okay? I think Jane fell.
Fine. I fell off my little
Jane, you're
She's
flagged.
You back with us?
You're flagged. She
So-
might have been
much
celebrating
for the-
National Tequila
Right.
Day.
Don't go overboard, Gene.
it's
You've got 3
Clearly
more
not
hours to
space
celebrate.
age sticky stuff.
But
Yeah,
yes,
we're back
John McCain, he has brain cancer, which is very
Yeah.
sad.
And
It is
the
very
amazing
sad.
part is he has exactly the same rare form that Ted Kennedy had.
Okay.
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Very
Wow.
strange. Very same.
Actually, I just got a little pop-up since I'm on the internet doing this, that Mr. McCain, Senator McCain, will be going back to D.C. for the healthcare vote.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Interesting.
He really is, like, I may not agree with him on many things, but I've always respected him.
He's a survivor. He's a fighter, and I
He's a
respect him
statesman.
too.
Yeah.
I just, and regardless of what our president says about his heroes don't get captured, I think he really is a hero.
Oh, he's absolutely a hero.
Oh, he's definitely.
Yeah,
Yes.
truly a hero. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely wish him well. Whether you agree with him or not, you never want to see anybody in that position. So, we wish him well.
Absolutely. A good
All right.
fight.
We need a logical voice,
Yes.
Yes.
the logical voice of him.
Logic is always good.
You think?
I love logic. All right.
That one bad moment when he found Sarah Palin, though.
Well, everybody makes mistakes.
Yep,
I don't think he was very happy
He'd
with that
probably
either.
like to forget that, too.
Well, I think we have a surprise topic coming
Woo!
up.
We
Who's
do.
up for surprise topic? Martha. Chocolate nugget. These are good.
Okay, you're back.
Okay, all right. Okay.
There we are. On the
Surprise
screen.
topic. So, put your thinking caps on, ladies, and be creative. We live across from a park where there are a lot of people picnic, and there's gym equipment, playground equipment, and over the weekends especially, but even during the week, during the summer, there's an ice cream truck comes around a couple times a day, playing, fairy tale music. you know. Yeah, exactly.
That's the song.
Right. So my thought was, and I mean, it's just overrun now. My husband knows people that live somewhere where they actually have an ice cream truck for dogs that goes around, which I think is kind of neat. So my thought was, if you could design a truck, now I'm not talking about a food truck that's just going to park, but a truck like an ice cream truck that would drive around and play a melody with an adult treat, what would it be, and what song would they play?
Oh,
Mine would be a martini truck that played James Bond themes, or for National Tequila Day,
Tequila.
a margarita truck playing Jimmy Buffett songs.
Nice.
Okay, so
Oh, okay,
what would
okay.
you do, ladies?
Man, that's
That's a good
tough.
question.
You took two really good
Of course.
ideas.
I have to think about
Yeah.
I'd
Mine
probably
would be.
go with
What would Jane?
Mine would be an old-fashioned truck,
Oh, an old-fashioned truck.
and it would be playing lounge standards.
That would be great. We're thinking on the same alcoholic stream, I think. That's great.
Yeah, I have to say, when you
The
said
street
adult
of
truck, I
broken
didn't go to
dreams.
drinks first.
this. soon as she said trucks, I went to like cupcakes. That's my favorite treat, and I think it's for adults just like it is for
Absolutely.
kids.
So what's it going to play, Cupcakes?
I don't know. My songs are not appropriate for playing on a truck out loud, so I have to be careful.
Well, let's think of a song to go with Cupcakes.
There's so
My,
many.
oh, there you go. Mine would do milkshakes, and it would play the song "My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard."
I knew it.
There we
That would
go.
be so fun. I'd totally buy your milkshake just for the song.
I would buy my milkshakes too.
I'd be twerking all the way down the street to your truck.
Right.
I love it.
There were two kids on the
Right.
side of the road today selling lemonade, and all I could get in my head was Beyonce and lemonade. And I'm laughing as I go past these kids. I'm like, I'm not laughing at you. Never mind.
Yes, so funny.
Elaine, what would you do?
Well, I don't know. When we start talking about alcohol, I had to go to a beer truck, and it would play acoustic guitar like James Taylor. And
Okay.
things like
Nice.
that. That always like
Nice.
puts
Real
you in
mellow.
the mood to kind of mellow out.
I told
love
my
that.
daughter about this, and she lives in California, and she said, "Oh well, I'd have a pot truck, and we would have Frosties and popsicles and slushies, and they would all be pot flavored."
She's gonna be rich one day because it's
That's
gonna be
funny.
legal there. She's
yeah.
gonna have a truck and she's gonna be.
You're going to
famous.
see those start to pop up around
Right.
places now.
Yes.
Play a little Bob Marley.
Hey, whatever works.
So
That was
that-
a good topic, Martha. That was really good. That was really thought provoking.
That was.
Yeah. Jane, yours was
I
funny.
still don't have a tune for yours, though.
I know.
I'll think of it for the rest of the show and see if I
Yeah.
can.
I gotta.
How
I
about
have so
Cake
many.
by the Ocean?
There you go.
That was awesome.
I couldn't
Yes,
think
I
of
love
Cake,
that. That's
yes.
gonna be my song, "Cake by the Ocean."
That would be great. There we go.
Perfect. There's my
See,
song.
we have great ideas.
All right.
And we're back.
So, what household chores do we hate? What's the worst?
All of them.
All of them?
Really? Don't you enjoy household chores?
Oh,
I really love to purge. I love to purge. I love
Really?
to clean closets out.
I don't
well,
want
when I
that
have
here to come
energy.
feel free. I have a house you would love.
You know, it's actually easier
will
to
love it.
purge somebody
Somebody
else's house
else's,
than
yeah.
your
Feel
own because
free.
you're not sentimentally attached
My
to
husband
anything.
would be thrilled.
What's your favorite? Your worst hated chore, Jane?
Oh gosh, it would have to be the bathroom.
Yes.
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 Ew.
Because it's
Especially
usually
if
not
you live
your
with boys,
junk.
right?
Yeah. It's not your dirt you're
All those
cleaning up.
cracks and crevices that have seen your cracks and crevices.
Exactly.
And if you live with boys,
It's
it's
not
even
a
worse.
pretty
Exactly.
Yeah, bathroom is nasty. I don't like floors. I don't care for mopping.
Yeah, I'll vacuum, but mopping
Yeah.
is not my
Mopping
thing. And I like to dust. I don't mind dusting. I wouldn't say I like any of this, but I don't mind dusting. I don't mind purging, but I don't like.
It's then after I have it together, getting rid of it. Okay. I mean, I love to get
Oh my
the stuff
gosh, there's
together.
so many
It's the
great
then-
places to give things to.
I know, but it's the getting it out of the house
That
and
takes
getting
about a
somebody
month.
to take it out of the house.
That's
That's
a
really
lot.
the difficulty. I can't think of any household chore that I enjoy.
How about folding
My-
warm towels out of the
Oh, yeah.
laundry?
I can think of
gosh, that
such
feels so
mindless
good.
ironing. I actually like to iron.
Iron's
I really
nice.
do like to iron.
I don't like any
My-
chores.
Once
My
a year.
dear late friend, whoops, sorry.
What happens
ahead.
to Ken?
No, I was going to say my dear late friend Quentin Crisp used to say, after 5 years, the dust never gets any deeper. So if you can put it off for 5 years, you're set for the rest of your life.
You don't ever have to dust again.
Nope.
That's good.
That's awesome. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, well, see, my
Starting
mom's
today.
my mom's mentality was just move.
That'll work too.
Now they're in a new clean house.
I
That's
think,
perfect.
what?
That's so funny.
I think that's why I really dislike, and I've never gotten used to housework because for the first 3 years that I was married the first time, we moved 10 times. And they were major moves for an oil company. So I never had to clean. By the time it was ready to be cleaned, we'd move somewhere else.
Wow.
So that when I finally got to the point where I lived somewhere stably, that I didn't have a maid, then it was I have to do this.
Do I have people for
I
this?
must have people to this.
Right? I'm the same way. I don't have a lot of free time on my hands, so when
Right,
I'm at home, I
exactly.
don't want to clean.
No.
I'll pay for the convenience.
Did anyone see the article recently? This woman who is the inventor of the only self-cleaning house died recently.
Wow.
And I forget her name, but look her up on Google her or something. But she
A
apparently invented
self-cleaning
a self-cleaning house, which clearly we would all love.
Yes.
What if that was what killed her?
Clean her right out.
Let me be in charge, please. I don't trust anything that self does. I don't like that technology stuff. Yeah,
Cats are
that's weird.
self-cleaning.
The robots are taking over. No, not doing it.
Wow.
I'm sorry. So, speaking of household chores that we love or hate, what do we think about cooking, like soups and
I
stuff
love
like
to
that?
cook.
What do we think about like gazpacho and cold soups and things like that?
I struggle with that because gazpacho a lot of times to me is just soupy or salsa.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how I feel about it.
I found a yellow salsa recipe that I made a couple weeks ago, and that was very good. Or not, gazpacho recipe.
Gazpacho, yeah.
I have a really good gazpacho recipe that you would like. But
All
I
right.
also have a recipe I forgot about until this week. 2 avocados, 2 cups of buttermilk, 2 cups of chicken broth, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Put them in a blender, serve it cold. It's delicious.
I would
My
like
daughter would love
It is
that.
so
That sounds
easy.
great.
It's really good. And we've been doing a lot of cold soups this summer because
I
it's
like
just so
cold
hot. I do
soup, but I
too.
feel like I don't know. I feel like soup shouldn't be cold. I always want to put it in the
I know,
microwave.
I'm
Yeah,
the same
I
way.
have a hard time
I always want to put it in the
It
Yeah.
just
microwave.
doesn't seem right.
No, and same with Bloody Marys. I want to put them in the microwave too. I'm not even kidding. Man, it doesn't taste like
No,
drinks to me. It tastes like
sacrilege.
I know you love Bloody Marys, but that doesn't taste like a drink. It tastes like soup to me. I want to dip grilled cheese in it.
Right? Yes, thank you.
I want to eat it.
I am the same way.
Then Sheila,
Same
you're
way.
clearly not putting enough alcohol in it.
I know. I fail, but yeah, I don't know. Cold soups, they're good, but they're
Well,
not my favorite. I
Try
need
the
hot soup.
avocado soup. It's really good.
That does
It's
sound
really
so good, though. I would eat that.
It does.
I might have to try that.
I'm going to replay this show later and write down that
It's
recipe.
222.
Yeah,
And
that's
all.
so
Doesn't
easy.
And
need
make it
salt,
for my
anything.
daughter. I
It's
think
really
she'd love
good.
it. Yeah.
Oh, right. I think we need to
would
take
try
a
that.
break now, but then we'll be back in just a little bit.
Okay.
What's next? The eclair.
You're watching That's What She Said. Join Martha. We're always daring. Sheila. And a little bit twisted. Nicole. Good for all seasons. And me, Jane Street, with just the right amount of spice. Visit us at youtube.com/vids That's What She Said to view snippets and full episodes of our past shows. Everyone must Facebook, and we do too. Like our page at facebook.com/ShePostsToMe. Stay in the know. And don't forget Twitter at SheTweetsToMe. Don't want to be bothered by all those words, dots, and slashes? Just visit our page at twss.tv and use the social media links at the top to find us online. You can also visit our guest page, where you can see who's been on our show and follow links to the episodes on which they appeared. How convenient. Get the scoop on all the ladies of That's What She Said. Remember, some of us are single. Don't forget to bookmark twss.tv. And now, back to the show.
We're back. Today. So I see that we have to talk about an eclipse, right? Did
Next
anyone-
month. Yeah, next month. It's a full eclipse of the sun.
That's
On
exciting.
the 21st.
Middle of the day,
21st
right?
of August. Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Will you be able to see that, Jane?
No, I'll actually be back in Pennsylvania by then. I
Oh,
think.
cool.
Well, but it runs sort of from Portland, Oregon,
Right.
to Raleigh, North Carolina, and then down.
But
It misses us
it's
a bit.
yeah, it's a very thin swath that
Yeah.
will be totally dark.
My son
kinda
just
cool.
told me that they're going into Idaho, as a friend has a house way out in the country in Idaho. And he said Boise now is already booked up because that's supposed to be one of the optimum places to view it.
I heard they're
But
cranking up
this
prices for
place
hotels
is,
and everything.
out in the country, so there will be no
People
residual
go to hotels to see these things?
Yeah, because this is the only time it's going to
rare.
happen so it
Ever.
will be. I don't know if we'll get any of the effect. I guess we'll get some of the effect, won't we? I would think.
They
Some
say
of it
the
here.
sun is going to be so bright that unless you have special device to look at the thing, you won't actually be able to tell it's doing anything from our
Okay.
vantage
Oh,
point.
okay.
Well,
Well, that's boring.
But don't
We're gonna miss all the
So
good
much for
stuff.
that.
Pennsylvania.
Bye, Eclipse. Whatever.
It's a nice idea.
but
to the
by the
people
way,
that are
that
traveling for
date,
it.
August 22nd, August 21st and 22nd, are also supposed to be the dates that are best dates to buy airline tickets.
Really?
I have no idea why. I just heard that last night, though.
That's crazy.
So that for some reason,
I'm
those
curious.
2 dates, yeah.
Book your flights, kids.
Yeah.
I'm suspicious. I want to know why.
There's a conspiracy there.
I need answers.
I'm going to try and see what
While
happens.
we're on dark August events, the August 11th and 12th are the prime nights for the Pleiades meteor shower.
Ah,
No,
Meteor
Perseids.
shower.
Perseids.
Okay,
Nice.
that's kind of cool.
Go somewhere very dark and watch them
Right.
plunge through the sky.
And don't get hit.
right.
Don't get hit by a meteor.
That would be awful.
Good rule of thumb.
Think of the stories you could tell your friends.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
if you live through it.
right. Or they could tell about you.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool
That's
that
a
people
way-
travel to like
way-
see these eclipse
Yeah.
things. You know, that's a fun road trip, like you said. That's
Yeah.
a story.
Well, they live in Oregon, so it's not going to be that far for them to drive
No.
into Idaho.
But
so.
still fun.
Yeah, it
Small
will be
road
great.
trip.
Yeah.
What's the best road trip all of us have been on? James, did you drive to Florida? Was that a cool road trip?
I drove part way and took the auto train for part of it,
That was fun.
which was exciting. Indeed, it cuts. It was 3 hours to the auto train, and then the auto train for 17 hours, and then
Oh, God,
3
that's
hours.
A lot of hours.
Indeed, but you're sitting on a train and they give you a nice meal and it's overnight. So it was a very pleasant trip. I mean, it wasn't the best trip I've ever been on. That was tooling around Europe in my little de chevaux, but
Nice.
Oh.
it was
That's
that
so
was magical.
fun. That was better. That was your favorite trip.
It was. It was
That sounds like a fun time.
indeed. Oop.
Uh-oh, did you lose us?
No. They want to take a road trip to Myrtle Beach for the eclipse. Someone tweeted.
Oh,
Oh, would you be able to see it?
I was going to say there won't be much. There will be a lot of residual light, I would think.
I loved Myrtle Beach.
I have 4 girlfriends from Millersville where I went to school together. And I would say every road trip with them is the best road trip because
That's
we just
so cool.
we just act like idiots.
That's
We
great.
pretend we're 18 again,
And where
we
do you
say
go?
dumb things and go places.
Where do you go?
Girls' weekends. We'll go to
Okay.
the ocean, or we'll go
Oh,
to
neat.
the. We went to the Finger Lakes one time.
That's
We
fun.
do
That is
different
fun.
places, but we just have so much
That
fun.
is
You listen to
fun.
Just
music
being
and
together.
sing and be loud.
Oh, we're
That's
just
fun.
idiots.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
one of-
great.
I love that.
One of the best ones I ever took was the first time my husband and I went to see Meg in California. We rented a convertible and drove down the coast road. And
Oh, I'll
Highway
bet that was
1,
awesome.
fantastic. But 2 years ago, we went to Nova Scotia and did a road trip through Nova Scotia. I think that was the best one we've ever done. Nova Scotia is just so beautiful. The people are so nice, and there are no billboards, and it's just really was wonderful. We had no big agenda, and it was just lovely. Yeah, yeah.
I think Elaine has a point, though, that it isn't necessarily, and I have to say the Nova Scotia trip sounded amazing
Yeah.
when you told me about it. But to some extent, I think it's about the people you're with
Oh,
that make the
absolutely.
road trip wonderful.
Oh, absolutely.
Or crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Personally, like road tripping by myself. Like I drove to Wildwood a few weeks ago, and that was really
You
fun.
know, yeah.
I really love driving by myself. Like, and I don't like driving in general because I'm a bad driver, and I don't like driving when I have to be somewhere. I am. Listen, it's dangerous. But yeah, I don't like having to be somewhere. But when I don't have any particular destination, just
it's a very liberating feeling.
Yes.
That's when I actually.
And
do
when
like
you're
it.
not with anybody, nobody is
so
to
much
tell
better.
you how to drive.
Well, that's
so-
my alone place. Remember?
Kind of,
I
yes,
said that. That was my car.
yes,
Like so.
yes.
I really dig driving myself.
Yes.
From the time David was born, I was making road trips to State College and to my parents'
I
house.
remember.
So I was doing my master's. He really is a great little road travel companion.
That's
He's good in the
great.
car.
And yeah, he's always been really good in the car, and he continues to be. And we just got back from Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago, and we have fun. Like, we talk
I
and we
love him.
listen to music,
Yeah.
and he watches movies, and he's been potty training, so this time back was, Mommy, I have to pee. All right, hold on, let me find emergency stuff. So it was a fun little adventure. So I'm really growing to enjoy road tripping with my son, and I hope it's something that continues. But
Yeah, I
my
bet it will.
favorite one was after my husband and I got married, we flew to Chicago and then drove from Chicago to Milwaukee and then Milwaukee up to Door County, like the little peninsula
Oh,
up
nice,
there.
yeah.
So it was a long drive. We drove past the Green Bay Packers Stadium and went in and walked around and stuff. And it was just,
Nice.
you know, we were newly married and we were just having the time of our lives. So it was,
Nice.
it was a very memorable experience. It was good.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Road
We've all
trips
had
are
some fun
great.
road
Yeah,
trips.
yeah.
Road trips are the best.
Especially when gas
Just
is
saying,
cheaper.
road trip
Right,
is fun.
We should take a road trip and
Yeah.
film it. Let's go somewhere fun and
Yeah.
far.
It's road trip.
Yeah.
That would be an episode, wouldn't it?
And then we could put on the green screen.
Ooh.
Oh, that would be so
Drive into the
awesome.
studio.
Yeah,
Have fun.
yeah.
I'm so on board with this green
I love
screen.
this green screen. I'm
Jamie's
excited
already
to use
thinking
it
about
someday.
ways to do things with the green screen. For
Thanks,
that's what
Hedge.
she
It's so
said.
here in the back. Speaking of green things, Kermit the Frog, the Muppeteer that plays Kermit the Frog,
That was
he was fired.
What did he do?
Well, yeah, go.
I don't know the story.
It said he didn't do anything
Like contract negotiations.
overt. Yeah,
was
they
one
said
of
he
them.
was
Union
he was a
negotiations.
bully, and when it came to negotiations, and he was rude to people, and
Kermit? My
Yeah,
goodness.
and they said
he'd been
played a
doing this since he
character
was
Henson died.
19.
Yeah.
Since he was 19, he's been playing Kermit the Frog, and he said, it's been my whole life. It sounded, although they said one of Jim Henson's children agreed that he should be fired.
Both.
It was his daughter. Yeah, I read something where his daughter said like that he had taken the character to a very like
Different place.
Yeah, like self-deprecating and just negative kind of character.
How old is, how old
But
is
he
the
also
person?
he also claims that that's the writers, and he was trying to move it away from that, and the
Right.
writers
Yeah.
said so. It's a big he said she said situation. It sounds to me like he was so protective of this character that he wasn't willing to negotiate with anyone else about it.
He wanted complete
Right, I
control
think he
over the
was
character
thinking he was,
development.
And
he
how
was
old is
Kermit
he
the
now?
Frog.
If he started when he was 19.
59,
yeah, I was
think.
going to say 59, so he's been doing it for 40 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And that's, he said, it's all I've ever done. That's who I am, which I think might have been part of the problem. His identity became so infused
in
with
Kermit.
Yeah.
with Kermit that,
And that's not healthy either.
no, it's not.
That's
No.
maybe why they fired him, because he was probably getting a little bit.
And we
out
don't
of
know all the
Yeah.
details. Yeah, there might have
No.
been more going on, and
Yeah.
it's sad, but you know.
It's really sad.
It's not easy being green.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he made it really
How long
clear
you
that
been
he
waiting?
did
Nice.
not-
Nice line.
Been waiting
That was
30
the
years
Line
to
of
say
the
that.
day. Absolutely.
I'm sure.
my girl.
I'm sure Kermit will acceptable hand up his butt from now on.
Right.
Oh my goodness,
Oy
that was
vey.
funny. Well, this poor guy didn't resign. He was
Yeah.
fired, but
Yeah.
someone who did resign is Sean Spicer.
Spicy.
Spicy. You call him Spicy? So what do we
You
think
know,
about
I
that?
will miss him on Saturday Night Live, but somehow I've
I
got to
don't
tell
think he's
you,
going to be off Saturday.
I don't think they're going to have any trouble finding someone to play the new guy, Scordavacci, because he is a Scaramucci. whatever.
Scaramucci.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
you do the
well,
fandango.
sorry.
I rhyme it to the Bohemian Rhapsody.
Because he is a caricature in himself.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're gonna. I don't know why, frankly,
fry it.
Sean Spicer didn't quit after he had to go out and lie about how many people came to the inauguration. I mean, everything I have heard about him, people on both sides of the aisle had a lot of respect for him and wondered why he had done this and why he allowed himself to be so manipulated to come out and do the things that he's had to do, and then find that Trump is going to negate his story that he just reported. And they said they really thought he did it because he thought he could make a difference, and then realized
Nope.
nobody's going to make a difference. No.
So you just had the
No.
awkward
So
turn.
What do you
I
think his job was? Like, you do what you're told as
yeah, but
that, like,
But there were times too when
President's in
he
charge, which-
would come out and make an announcement, and then 12 hours later, the grand tweeter would
pretty
tweet
much
just the
rescind
opposite.
that.
Exactly. So, I respect him for quitting. My personal opinion.
Well,
I'm gonna
we
miss
wish him
Melissa
luck.
McCarthy.
What?
I'm gonna miss her.
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy portraying
Right.
him on Saturday Night Live. She
She's
did
brutal.
spicy better than he did.
She's funny. She's
know.
really funny.
Somebody the other day told me to take. Now it doesn't work on all iPhones, I'm told. But if you say to Siri, "I see a little silhouette of a man," she will do the rest of the song.
Nuh-uh.
It does. You want to try it?
Yes.
Here you
Well,
go.
maybe after the show. But I
Okay,
do.
yeah.
No,
Now here we
no.
go, Nicole. Sing it. Hold on. I don't know how this thing works. There you go.
I see a little silhouette. Oh, come on, Siri. I see a little silhouette of a man.
Scaramouche, Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Molten lightning, very, very frightening. Galileo.
Is she gonna sing the whole song?
No, we're not going to play
Yes,
those.
she will go. She will continue.
She's turn it on.
Freddie
Yeah.
Mercury.
Oh my gosh! Like, I didn't know she was gonna sing
Well.
the whole song. That was pretty funny. I love that. That's so funny. Who told you that? That's so cute.
Oh, it's a friend here. Actually, it was Kirk is down here doing Mary Poppins.
Right.
Oh,
And
okay.
actually, it was Mary Poppins that told him about that. I believe.
Mary Poppins. Okay, she's so cool.
Yes. Also, if you say, while you have the phone out, say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious into it.
Let's see.
We've devolved. Jamie's head. spinning.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Is that you?
Is that you, Mary?
Very
Is that
cute.
you?
That's pretty cute.
That is so
cute.
I can deal with
I
that.
love Siri. Siri is the cutest thing ever. That's funny. I'm so glad. I'm going to play with this when I get home. What do we think about panhandlers?
You know, I don't ever remember a time around Reading where I've seen so many people with signs
It's rampant.
asking for money. It is in places I've never seen it. I would say over the last 6 months, I've even commented on it. And it's tricky because you want to be a good and decent person and help, but somehow you feel like you're being scammed. So it's really, I think if you knew for sure that person was really desolate, you would want to help.
Sure,
but you
absolutely.
always have this fear that you're being
Played. Yeah,
So
like they're not
it's
really
it's a tough
homeless.
one, right?
I see them every day on my way to work. They stand on the bypass at the end of
Yeah.
Lancaster Avenue there with their signs.
There's a lot of different places.
And it's kind of like unnerving. I mean, they're standing right next to you, like with their sign in your window, and you gotta like try to avoid. I would
Right.
love to help them. I would love to help everybody if I could. But
I
like
think
you
it
said,
might be
you
a
don't
good
know.
idea if you found one person. Like I think if you walk to work or you drive someplace and there's the same person that always seems to be there, and you sort
They
of pick.
are the same people.
But if you sort of pick that person, I mean, at least you'd be helping one. You know,
Do you
to
know
give
my
them
friend did that?
a sandwich or buy
My
him
friend
coffee.
actually did that.
Yeah,
he
just
wanted
one
to help.
person.
He saw this guy all the time. He wanted to
Yeah.
help, but he didn't want to feel played. He got out, introduced himself, developed this relationship,
Right.
and then continued to help that person. It was quite
Yeah,
amazing.
I think
That's
that's
a beautiful
I really
story.
think that's a great
Yeah,
idea
that's
to
a
do.
good one.
That is really.
I don't know that most people would do that. But
No, not a lot
it
of
is very
people. Yeah,
interesting. But
yeah.
that way he was able to give because he was a giving
Right,
person
right.
and know that, hey, this guy really
Right.
needed my help. And
And if
thought
you
that
saw
was
the
pretty
same
amazing.
people for a long time,
But I
and
think
knew
what's
that person was always there, then you could pretty well figure they probably needed, you know.
But I do think what's odd is the sudden uptick in it.
Yeah, that there's more people all of a sudden that you're seeing.
Right.
Because I have to say,
Indeed.
like, I'll get on 422, right past Queen City Diner.
Right.
And there's people
That's
right
where I
there.
get off.
And I'm
Right.
mostly just scared for them. I'm like, that is a dangerous
yeah.
place to be.
Yeah.
And I don't remember seeing them when I first moved here, but I see them all the time in that spot now. And that just, it's a little unnerving.
Why is that happening?
Why is it
Why
happening?
are they
That's a
picking
good.
that spot?
That's a
Yeah.
really good question.
It's scary. I feel bad for them, but at the same
I do
time,
too.
Well, they're picking that spot because of the volume of traffic. The higher your
Right.
volume of traffic, obviously, the more chances you're going to have that you'll get a donation or whatnot.
And
I
if you're
wonder if
coming
they
off
do.
the exit
But
and
it is
turning,
dangerous.
you're stuck for a while.
sure, it's dangerous for the cars to stop too, because that's not really an easy spot to stop and
No.
roll
True.
your window down. You know.
True, without getting back-ended.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I read an article in the paper about a man who had been in Washington, D.C. for years and years and years. He'd been a panhandler. Same man, same place for years. Nobody knew where he lived. He died and left like $1 million.
And I think those kinds of stories are what
Kind of
make
neat,
us think,
yeah.
hey, is this for
Well,
real?
but on the other hand, you know, he that's what he did. When I lived in Italy, the
Tax-free dollars, too,
The
probably.
gypsies would come every spring. The gypsies would hit the city I lived in, and they were frightening because they would follow you and they would grab your coat, or if I had children, they would grab the stroller, and they had all these deformities. But the thing is that if you went to the bar at 5 o'clock, the guy who was sitting out there, who only seemed to have one leg, would have both legs in the bar. They just did amazing things, and they were infected. They were all over the city. And
That's three
you
penny
gave
opera.
no one. Yeah, you never gave them anything, because if you gave them one thing,
You were
they would follow
targeted.
you for the rest of the day. And the next day, his other leg would be missing. That was, you could really. They were quite talented.
Beauty
at it.
mark that moves around.
Yeah,
On the face.
yeah, right.
That's funny.
No, if they touched my kid, I'd mama bear.
It's scary.
I
The
will really
Italians,
take that leg.
the Italians would grab them because I had two blondes, and they would grab, especially Meg, and they would come over and grab her coat, and some Italian would come over and grab them, because they really were not welcome, sadly.
No way.
Yikes.
Well, we had some sad news in the public news recently with the lead singer of Linkin Park committing suicide, Chester Bennington.
Yeah.
That's devastating.
Very sad.
And it
It's so
touched
sad.
It is.
Yeah, his death touched a lot of people too. I saw a lot of it come across my news feed. They were shocked, and I wasn't a huge Linkin Park fan, but I know of the band and I knew of him as the lead singer. And for me, it's sad that this continues to happen.
I
Lose
was
so many people.
talking about this a little bit earlier before the show. I never heard of the band. I never heard of the person. I must be extremely uncool. But since he passed, I've been seeing a lot of interviews that he has done on Facebook, and I am blown away by his perspective and by his insight and by his
Honesty.
ability to communicate. And it's just so sad because, he was molested as a child, and he's had a lot of demons to deal with. And he seemed like somebody that could really, really help others, and I'm sure he has. But it's so sad that he couldn't help himself. But anybody that has anxiety or depression knows how that feels. One of his interviews, he says, yeah, everybody thinks when you become famous, you've beat everything, but your brain is still circling around the same problems it always has. And I thought, there it is.
Yeah,
Robin
fame
Williams,
doesn't take
same
that away.
situation. Yeah, but he seemed like a really wonderful individual.
And
It
super
always
talented.
seems so awful, though, that
I
somebody
think
like
it's
that who
I
had
think it's possible to quiet demons, but it's never possible to get rid of them completely.
I
Yeah.
think you're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think, I was going to say, I think the sad part is that he was with that group. There must have been people who knew him so well that nobody was able to get in there and help him to, I don't know to do what.
Hey,
But they said the same thing about Robin Williams.
The individual brain is a vast,
Right.
And you can
space.
get very good at, putting on a face.
Oh, I think
not
there
letting
are.
That's the
people
thing.
in,
He
even
didn't
the
even really
closest
put
people.
on a face. If you listen to his music, it's there.
Right,
He's
right.
putting
It's
it
there. Yeah, he
out
was
there.
working really
Particularly
good.
his very last
Right.
single that was released. It's called Heavy. Like
Right.
he's pretty much like if you listen to that song and I encourage you to because it's really good actually. He's really open about his state of mind. He's not hiding anything, so there's no mask there.
But some
Maybe that's what most people thought. Look, he's dealing. If he's
so
able to talk
Right.
about it
Yeah.
and put all those things into music and he's dealing with it. Maybe that's
Yeah.
what the thought was.
Possibly.
He sounds
they can hear
really put together when you listen to him talk.
Yeah.
And not to say he wasn't put together. I mean, not to say he wasn't put together because of the decision he made. But it's just sad.
That's an act of desperation.
very
That's
lonely.
not
Yeah,
somebody
but
that's.
I think that face that we put on to face the faces, nobody really ever sees behind that. I think
Oh,
for
I
most
love
of
that
us,
new depression
I think,
campaign where they show
Right.
smiling, happy people, and they go the face of depression, and that's exactly right because that's a wall some people
Right.
put up.
yeah,
Yeah.
Honestly, as someone who walks that tightrope,
right.
I can tell you from personal experience that it is very, very easy to put on that mask.
Yes.
But it's a struggle every day, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's a struggle someone with depression can't really communicate to someone who doesn't suffer from that.
No.
Because the thought process is, well, why can't you just be happy?
Right.
Well,
Just get over it.
Let's get over it.
It has-
Exactly.
People who
has
don't get
nothing
it
to
can
do-
say that.
Yes, it has nothing to do with happiness or unhappiness. It's a chemical imbalance that for
Exactly.
cannot fight that.
whatever irrational reason makes you
It's
not
not.
feel good.
It's not just a mental thing, an emotional thing. It's a physical thing as well. And I think that's the whole idea of depression. Unless you have
And how
suffered
about
it.
how about England's princes, Harry and William? They're
Right,
really getting
right,
that out,
right.
to help
Right.
support
Right.
those
Harry
with
especially
mental
saying
issues.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what it
so
dealt
it's so
with,
great to hear
exactly.
the younger generation getting out there and talking
Yeah.
about it and helping other
Definitely.
people feel okay about things.
And that's what it's going to take, is people opening up about it.
Right.
It is. Well, we have about 5 minutes left. So, what is everybody's favorite way to beat the heat?
Air conditioning.
That's personally my favorite way as well.
Honestly, the humidity has been so bad.
James fell again.
Here we go.
4 minutes. I stand corrected.
I go out, and this morning I went out to water the things that hadn't been drenched. The things were under the eaves. I thought it's really nice. The sun's out, and in about 10 minutes, I couldn't breathe.
That was so
I
humid.
just couldn't
Yeah,
breathe.
it's
I
bad.
don't know what
I'm fearful. Band camp is coming up. I got to spend 2 weeks in the in the field.
What high school do you do
Bless
that
you,
for?
sister.
Reading High School.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Red Night Proud.
That's right.
Yeah, well, speaking of hot weather, soon we're going to be getting into cooler weather, and I wanted to remind everybody of Oktoberfest that's coming up. This year it's Monday, October 16th through Friday, October 20th. Sounds like a far away, but it's not.
It's not. It's right around the corner.
And this is going to be BCTV's 25th year
Wow.
of having the auction. And as you know, it is
silver
the
anniversary?
biggest
Right,
fundraiser
something
that
happened.
BCTV does. So we just want to get the word out there early in case there's anyone out there that wants to sponsor the event, to get their name out. If there's anybody that wants to bring in some items to be auctioned off, we always appreciate that. And of course, we love it when people watch on BCTV and on the web and bid on those. This year, they're going to have a special auction item preview event, and they're going to be doing a lot of promotion on that. So sorry to take the
No, that's
conversation
all right.
away, but I got to get my plug in.
Yeah,
for
let us-
BCTV.
Yeah, do we have any other plugs?
Yeah,
I
let
have
us
one.
have all that information so that we can announce it for the next 2 months.
Oh, yes,
Because we'll
I
have 2 more
definitely will.
shows that we can.
We can put it on
Thank
our
you.
we can
website
do
I
that.
definitely will.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
On our
Yeah.
website, twss.tv, all our links are
Well,
on
that's
there.
how I got here, is
Thank
because
you.
I bid on being a guest host on this
Right,
show, and
that's right.
I got it.
That was fun.
Yeah,
that
it
was
was fun.
That was
Oh, and I got my glasses too.
And
which
Jane and I,
thoroughly enjoy.
is that the auction that Jane and I hosted?
Yes.
That was fun. Can we do that again?
Yeah, well, I didn't get to do it last time. I
Let's
wanna
do it. It'll be
It is,
fun.
it's a lot of
forget
fun.
why I couldn't do
But
it.
it's so important at BCTV.
Yeah.
It is.
So,
I have a plug as well. Genesius Theater, Dreamgirls, opening August 4th through August 19th. It's 3 weekends, so get your tickets. It's going to be really good. GenesiusDifference.org.
Nice.
Anyone else?
I saw that on Facebook today.
Ooh, it's going to be so good.
I just have to say hi to a viewer. Hopefully she's watching tonight. I met her in the grocery store. Her name is Carol.
Hey, Carol.
She said she'd be embarrassed if I said her name on.
Aw, don't be embarrassed.
I'd like to
We're
do
all
that
good
too.
to
See you.
Yeah, I saw. I'd like to say a hi to the lady I met at Giant last week, who recognized me from the show. And I don't know your name, but I love talking to you. Thank you so much. I hope you're watching tonight and enjoying it.
It tickles us pink
right.
when you say
Yes,
hi to us.
absolutely.
So we have about a minute left.
Makes us feel so famous.
We do. We love that. That's fun. Our next show is Monday, August 28th at 9 o'clock. Our guest host is Heather Miller. Whoop, whoop. We love Heather.
Be back.
And Jane will be back with us. Jane, we're so glad you could join us today. And Elaine, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thanks
as
for
well.
having me. It's always a blast.
Definitely, always a blast. So yeah, catch us next month on the 28th, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.